Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into building a data-driven organization.
Sounds interesting.
We've got excerpts from an article featuring Mohamed Hassan.
Okay.
He's the CTO over at Encontrack.
Right.
And he's about to release this new book, the CTOs Handbook.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
So we got a sneak peek for our listeners.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you know what's cool? Hassan, he doesn't just give you the typical data is king talk.
Yeah, we've all heard that one before.
Right. It's like, yeah, okay, but what else is new? He actually digs deeper.
I like it.
He's saying to really succeed, especially now with AI like exploding.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
You need to make data like part of your company's DNA.
You're talking about a fundamental change.
Absolutely. And he doesn't hold back. He starts with this like mind-blowing statistic from McKinsey.
Hit me with it.
Data-driven organizations.
Yeah.
They're 23 times more likely to get new customers.
Wow.
And 19 times more likely to be profitable.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It really makes you realize this isn't just about numbers.
Right.
It's about survival.
Exactly.
And Hassan gets it. He talks about like starting his first CTO job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just facing all these like outdated systems.
Oh, I bet.
And a culture that treated data like it was a problem, not an opportunity.
Ugh. I think we've all been there.
Right. Trying to drag your company into like the 21st century.
Yes.
But you hit this wall.
Totally. So how do you actually make that happen?
Boy, that's where it gets good.
Yeah.
Hassan lays out these 4 foundational pillars for building like a successful data-driven company.
Okay. So it's like a blueprint.
Exactly.
I like it.
And the first one, it all starts with the people. You got to build that culture.
A culture of data-driven decision-making.
Yes. And it's not just having dashboards everywhere.
Right. It's got to be deeper than that.
It's about making data the language of your company.
He uses this phrase, I love it, no data, no decision.
Oh, I like that.
Isn't that great? It's like, you got to back up your ideas
Prove it.
with evidence. Otherwise, it's just talk.
Exactly. And he tells this great story about a company, right? They use data to make this like risky investment.
Risky. How so?
Everyone thought they were crazy. But the data, it told a different story.
Ooh, okay. I'm intrigued. What happened?
So they took the risk, and they ended up tapping into this whole new market.
Wow.
They had no idea it was even there. Profits went through the roof.
That's the dream. That's the power of trusting the data, even when it's telling you something you don't expect.
Exactly.
But how do you actually build that instinct, that data-driven gut feeling?
He says you got to bake it into everyday conversations. Like, imagine walking into a meeting.
Okay.
And instead of just going with your gut, everyone's asking, what does the data say?
I love that.
He even suggests having like a data insight of the week,
Oh, interesting.
highlighting those wins, the ones that came from following the data.
I love that. It's like you're gamifying it.
Exactly.
And celebrating the aha moment.
Make it fun.
Yes.
He says you got to make data accessible and engaging, not just a chore for the data people.
Right, because if it's not accessible, no one's going to use it.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't really have that data-driven culture
Right.
if your team's stuck with these like ancient tools and processes.
Oh, totally. It's like trying to run a marathon with flip-flops.
Exactly. And that brings us to Hassan's second pillar,
Okay.
building a real-time data infrastructure.
Okay, the backbone of the operation. So we're talking speed here, right?
He's blunt about it.
How so?
He says relying on old data,
Mm-hmm.
it's like trying to navigate a stock market crash with last year's news.
Ouch. You're going to get crushed.
You're going to get crushed.
Oh.
So how do you avoid being a dinosaur?
Right. How do you keep up?
Speed and agility. That's the key.
Oh, yeah, I like it. So how do we get there?
Hassan says, think milliseconds, not minutes.
Wow. Okay.
Decisions made instantly. And that takes a data infrastructure that's got to be as responsive as like a Formula One pit crew.
That's a great analogy. I can picture it. Everyone moving lightning fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he gives this cool example, right?
Yeah.
This company, they used real-time data, but to personalize their website.
For every single visitor.
Every single one.
Hold on. How is that even possible? That sounds incredibly complicated.
That's where the right tools come in.
Okay, what are we talking about here?
So he mentions Apache Kafka,
Okay.
which is like, basically, imagine a superhighway for data, streaming it across all your systems instantly.
It's like the circulatory system of the data world.
Yes. And then there's Apache Flink.
All right.
And that one, it can actually analyze those streams of data
Like on the fly.
on the fly. It spots patterns, pulls out insights
Wow.
in milliseconds.
So like while I'm browsing a website,
Yeah.
they're tracking what I'm clicking and then showing me custom recommendations.
Exactly.
That's both impressive and a little creepy.
A little bit, right.
But I get it. Personalization is powerful.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's not just for websites, right?
No way. Think about it. Adjusting your marketing campaigns
Oh, in real time.
instantly based on how people are acting.
That's incredible.
Or even like optimizing your supply chain as demand changes.
Wow, okay. Now you're talking my language.
Right.
This is all great, but let's be real. This real-time infrastructure, it sounds expensive
Yeah.
and complicated.
It sounds like something only like Google and Amazon can do.
Right. Is this just for the tech giants?
Not at all. And this is what's cool. Hassan talks about the democratization of data
Okay, I like the sound of that.
with cloud solutions
Okay.
like AWS Redshift, Google BigQuery. They offer crazy scalability,
Yeah.
but affordably.
So you're saying even smaller companies can get in on this
Absolutely.
without like breaking the bank?
Exactly.
That's amazing. But with great power, right?
There we go.
Comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't just be like throwing data around.
Yeah.
You gotta know it's accurate, it's reliable, it's secure. And that brings us to,
Oh, let me guess.
Hassan's third pillar,
Hit me with it.
data governance.
Okay, because if the data is a mess,
Garbage in, garbage out.
exactly, you can have all the fancy tools in the world, but if the data's bad,
Useless.
it's useless. So how do we make sure our data is squeaky clean?
This is where Hassan gets really fired up, actually.
Oh.
He's talking about building this culture of accountability.
Okay.
And it's not just about having clean data. It's about trusting your data
With like your business's life.
with everything.
That's a big deal.
It is.
So how do you actually build that kind of trust? That's a big leap.
So he uses this great phrase, data chain of custody.
Okay, break that down for me.
Imagine being able to trace the journey of a single piece of data
Okay.
from where it starts
Right.
to the very end,
Okay.
making sure it's accurate every step of the way.
So it's like a breadcrumb trail for your data.
Exactly.
You can see where it's been, who's touched it.
You got it.
Okay, that makes sense.
And to manage that whole chain, he recommends data stewards.
Data stewards, I like it.
They're like the guardians of the data kingdom.
Okay, so they make sure everyone's playing by the rules.
Yes. Setting the standards, enforcing the protocols, the whole nine
It
yards.
sounds like a big job.
Yeah.
So you need people who are both like tech wizards and diplomats to be a data steward.
Yeah, you got it. They're the ones behind the scenes making sure your data is like pristine.
So important.
It is. And it's not just about, preventing disasters. It's about setting the stage for something huge.
Okay, I'm listening.
AI
Yeah.
and predictive analytics.
Uh-huh. Hassan's fourth pillar. This is where things get really futuristic.
Right. We're not just looking at the past anymore. We're trying to predict the future.
Exactly. Everyone wants a crystal ball.
And Hassan, he gives this crazy example about a retail company.
Okay.
They used AI, right, to predict what products were going to be hot months in advance.
Wait, hold on. They could actually tell what people were going to want before even the customers knew.
That's what I'm saying.
That's wild.
They analyzed everything, social media, blogs, even the weather,
Wow.
to figure out what was going to be big. By the time something started trending online, they were already stocked up.
Okay, that's next level. Talk about being one step ahead. But to do that,
Yeah.
you need a whole team of data scientists, right? With like supercomputers for brains.
It sounds crazy complicated.
Yeah.
But Hassan's point is AI is getting easier to use. You don't have to be like a genius to get started.
Really?
There are platforms now like Amazon SageMaker, Google AI platform. They let you build these powerful AI models without a PhD.
So what you're telling me is even a small business owner could use this stuff.
Exactly. Think about it. Predicting which customers are going to buy.
Okay.
So you can target your marketing perfectly.
That's huge.
Or even like knowing exactly how much inventory you'll need so you don't waste anything.
Those are some serious benefits. But how do you know if it's actually working? You have to be able to measure it, right?
Oh, absolutely. Hassan's a big believer in tying AI to real results.
Like what?
Are you making more money? Are
Yeah.
your customers happier?
Right.
Are people sticking around? If you can't measure the impact,
Then it's just a fancy toy.
exactly. It's got to be driving your business forward.
So it's not just about having the coolest tech. It's about using it strategically
Yeah,
to make a difference.
that's it. And that's what he calls the predictive decision loop.
Okay, I like the sound of that. What is it?
It's like this constant cycle. Data, prediction, action, measurement.
Hmm.
You're always learning, always adjusting.
So your data is constantly making your decisions smarter.
Exactly. But I got to ask you, with all this talk about AI and algorithms,
Hmm.
where do humans fit in?
That's a good question. Are we all going to be replaced by robots?
That's what everyone wants to know, right?
Right.
And Hassan, he says, AI isn't here to replace us.
Okay.
It's here to make us better.
Okay, I like that better.
It's about combining the best of both worlds. Data gives you the insights, the raw information.
And humans bring, what, the intuition?
Exactly. The experience, the big picture thinking.
So it's not about humans versus machines. It's about finding the right balance.
That's it. Working together to make the best possible decisions.
This has been awesome. I've learned so much.
Oh, too.
We've covered a lot, from building that data-driven culture
Yeah.
to like harnessing the power of AI.
It's clear in this day and age, data is everything. It's not just a tool. It's like the lifeblood of a successful company.
So to wrap things up, what's the one thing you really want our listeners to take away from this?
I think Hassan says it best. Data-driven decisions aren't just an advantage anymore. They're the bare minimum.
Wow.
The question isn't, can you afford to be data-driven?
Yeah.
It's, can you afford not to be?
That's a powerful thought. So for everyone listening, if you're ready to jump into this world,
Yeah.
grab Hassan's book.
It's a game changer.
And get ready to transform your organization. Until next time, happy data diving, everyone.